Ugly sort. Miss Smith, this is no time to be mad. We're going to get to the bottom of this right now. Miss Smith.
Whoever wrote it probably didn't think anyone would ever see it.
I hope that nobody else ever does see it.
Secrets out. Relational aggression I like to call as social bullying, and it's kind of like alienating somebody from a certain group or spreading rumors about them, like what George did. The next one, so Amanda's going to talk about a girl, Shay, that she was affected by verbal bullying.
Hi everyone, again my name is Amanda. We've all heard the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, at a young age my mom told me the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words actually leave permanent damage. Now, when I was a little girl, I was bullied in elementary school for being a tomboy, and I was picked on, name called, I was called a boy because I wore white clothes. Definitely grew out of that phase, but I'm going to tell you a couple stories that were girls who were affected by bullying. So this is Shay. She's 18 years old. And this is a picture of her. She was actually a cheerleader in her senior year when she was bullied by a bunch of girls on her team and girls who were in her class. Now, Shay was born with a brain tumor, so she would have sporadic seizures that would affect her everyday life. This is something that was said to Shay. Shay should just have one of her fucking seizures and die, because people at West don't want her. That's the reason why she has seizures, because that's karma for giving birth to a freaky slut. Now after this, her mom even removed her from the school, and the cyberbullying continued. So now I'm going to to Natalie.
Somebody has that one.
Oh yeah, sorry, there's more text messages that were sent to her after she changed school. I don't know if you guys can read it. Can you guys read it? I can make it out loud to you. Okay, this one says, "Hey ugly slut, you're so fucking ugly yourself. You think you find out who I am because that's pathetic. I am many because we are a group and a union of people who dislike you. You are pathetic. I'm pretty sure you're going to hell. God doesn't like sluts. You need to be cleaned. It's so obvious you have no friends. Only special needs kids because those are the easy ones. You have no right brain. It makes sense because you're retarded free. I bet you have no date to homecoming. Of course you don't. Who wants to go to homecoming with a freak, ugly girl? Of course I have a date. He is so hot. And all of my friends are going in a massive group." And then, yeah, that's all. So now I'm going to pass it back to them.
So that's an example of verbal bullying, and we'll get into that's how she can be considered cyberbullying, which we'll get into in a second. So the next one I want to go under is physical bullying. This is like kicking, shoving. I don't know if you guys read that, but this is actual. The bullies who usually take part in physical bullying or they pick on weaker links because they're usually more stronger and more aggressive, so they go for the weaker ones. The next one is cyberbullying, and I actually want to share something from the Cyberbullying Research Center. They state individuals can hide behind some measure of anonymously when using their personal computer or cell phone to bully another individual, which perhaps frees them from the normative and social constraints of their behavior. So this is when someone hides behind technology to harass another person. There's also a lesser risk of being caught, which is why it's so widespread and so common. It gives the bullies the courage to say something, not in front of their faces. And I think the worst part about this cyberbullying is someone can reach you at any time. They can reach you in your home, it can be your private life. It's not just at school or at a party. They can reach you at any time, and that's harassment that doesn't really need to happen. The next one is sexual bullying, and this is mostly targeted towards girls. However, girls and boys are affected by it. This consists of like vulgar gestures and vulgar comments, and also in extreme cases, they can lead to sexual assault. So if you know anybody or this is happening to you, please talk to somebody because we don't want it to escalate. Girls can also be a victim or can also attack other girls in this type of bullying by calling some girl like a slat or like ugly slat in the Mean Girls clip. So the next one is prejudicial bullying, and this is based on a prejudice already towards a race or religion or a sexual orientation. And this actually umbrellas all of the types that we just talked about, because you can have physical bullying, and or you can actually hit you can hit somebody for not liking, whatever religion they are. It umbrellas all of them. And in some cases, it also leads to hate crimes. So actually, Amanda's going to go and talk to you about a cyberbullying story.
Okay, this is the story of Rebecca. I actually found this on CBS dated October 25th, so this is extremely recent. It's been a couple of days. This is Rebecca. She attended Lakewood High School in Florida. In September, she jumped off a cement building and killed herself. She's 12 years old, and she was harassed by a bunch of 14-year-olds, which are now in a lawsuit against them. This was something that was said to her, and this was on her profile page in social media networks. It said, "Just drink bleach and die." A few days later, she ended up killing herself. I'm going to pass it back to Natalie.
So now that we're over the types and kind of the effects of what they all can do, I'm going to show you guys the pie chart. As you guys see, name calling and insults is like takes up 80% of this chart. I know I'm guilty of this as well. I they called my head off when I was in junior high and middle school and whatnot. But every one of these actions or behaviors can be categorized in the 6 types that we just talked about. So as you can, spreading rumors can also be a verbal bullying, that can fall into name calling and insults as well. Sexual comments, homophobic comments, all of these can be categorized in one. So now that you guys since name calling is actually on the first list for breaking into a little activity, so you guys see an outline of a person. We call her Wanda, and this is, I kind of want you guys to think of any kind of mean things, you guys can share, I don't know if there's one for everybody, but think of mean things like you're a loser, you're ugly, anything you think of, just write it all in there. Go for it, go down.
Any words that
Insults, like all these negative words inside of her. So this activity is supposed to kind of let you guys understand that bullying and like name calling or insults actually destroy a person's self-esteem and their self-image. And Wanda's a perfect example of how words can actually damage someone's self-esteem. So now Amanda's going to go into the kind of more effects of bullying.
I'm going to go into the effects and causes. There are multiple websites that advertise or explain bullying and the effects of bullying, but I got most of these from bullyingfacts.info. It's a huge website. It talks about bullying itself, the effects, and some organizations as well. I'm just going to go one through one. Depression is one. Self-harm, cutting, change in sleep patterns, eating patterns, strange eating patterns, excessive eating, anorexia, or bulimia, negative thoughts, feeling lonely or sad, mental illnesses, suicidal thoughts, anxiety, panic attacks, experimenting with drugs, lowering your self-esteem, weight gain, long-term effects. Now with long-term effects, when things are said to you, but I'm just going to ask you, what are some of the things that you heard maybe in junior high that still linger with you today? Maybe you were called fat in junior high, maybe someone said you didn't have pretty hair, maybe someone said that you're not smart.
I'm sure we all could do something like that.
The majority of girls have been. We live in a society today where we are constantly picked at. And then poor grades, and then lastly, revenge. Now, a lot of people who have been bullied end up taking the bullying out to someone else. So now I'm going to pass it on to Kia, and she's going to talk why it relates to us, or how it affects us all, and it affects us.
Alright, guys. Again, my name is Kia, and you guys all know who Demi Lovato is, right?
Yes.
Alright, so Demi Lovato is a Alright. So I'm sure some of you guys know that Demi Lovato is actually an advocate, so that means she fights against bullying. And she said everyone has the bully or the mean girl or the ex-boyfriend who has tried to bring them down. That's everyone. The issue of bullying affects every single person in this room. I still remember the first time I was bullied. I was in the 3rd grade. And I've always been like the popular kid. Everybody wants to be my friend because I'm just so nice. Everybody wants to be around me. So I was in the 3rd grade and my frenemy, this was a frenemy before it was even cool to have frenemies. My frenemy thought I was talking about her. So we're on the playground, she walks up to me and she accuses me of talking about her. And I try to tell her, no, I didn't say anything about you. She